Hi, I'm Nancy from the Turk 2000 channel, and today we're going to do a project called the three-tiered earring. As you can see, it has three different parts to it, and they all have little Swarovski 4mm crystals surrounding each of the three tiers to make it a kind of a simply elegant earring, simple to make, simple to wear, very good seller in the store. We like to use as our middle stone this galactic bead that's in a couple of the earrings, the one I have on and the one that's up here. But if you don't have a galactic bead from Swarovski, use anything that you think is going to be pretty, and you get to match up your crystals with the stone that you're using in the tier. It's kind of a fun project, and we'll get started in a minute. So to get started with our three-tiered earrings, let's start with what you're going to need for tools. You're going to need a round nose plier. You're going to need a wire cutter. And then you're going to need something to tuck in the wire, either a crimp tool, I love a crimp tool to tuck, or a flat nose plier will work. The primary tool is going to be our round nose. Okay. The materials you're going to need are, you're going to need an earring stand to work this earring out. It's much easier when it's done on a stand. And you're going to need 3 different beads. I have a 10mm onyx bead, I have my galactic bead, and I have an 8mm howlite bead. So I'm going to do like a tuxedo color in this earring. For each bead, you have to do 6 Swarovski crystals on head pins, and we use the head pins with the ball, the 2mm ball on the end. So I've already put them on, the crystals onto the head pins, so that part's done. And that's the second phase. The first phase is to get all of your big stones connected and hung on the ear wire. To do that, we're going to use 22 gauge artistic wire in a non-tarnished silver. This is our go-to wire all the time in the store. If part of an earring does not go into the ear, it's just part of the construction, we're using this wire because it has the malleability of sterling silver, but we wouldn't put it in our ear because it is a base metal. But if it's just going into the earring, it's not going to tarnish. It's a great wire. Okay, so we're going to cut a piece of wire. Actually, to do the first one, let's start with the bottom one. To start with the bottom one, we're going to use our head pin. So we're going to put the first bead onto the head pin. Then we're going to use our round nose pliers to make a loop. So I bend the wire towards me. It's just a basic loop. Wrap it around. Complete your loop. So now you have a 90-degree angle. Grab that loop and wrap. And when you do this, you want your loop to be a fairly good size loop. So if you didn't make it big enough, go in with your pliers and ream it out so that it's nice and big, because you're going to have to put 6 ear wires through that. So, all right, we have it to be a good size. Cut off your tail. And tuck in the little nubby that's left. Once that's tucked, all right. Our level number 3 down the bottom is ready to go. Now we're going to use the artistic wire, so I will cut a piece of that and make a loop on the artistic wire. But this time, I'm only going to make the loop. I'm not going to go all the way around. I just did my 90-degree angle, and now I'm going to attach it, slide in the bottom piece, So that's attached in. Now I'm going to wrap it shut. Grab the loop and wrap up around the neck. And you're coiling is a better way to put it rather than wrapping. Cut off your excess. And now we're ready to add level number 2, which is going to be our crystal galactic bead. So we're going to take the crystal galactic bead and add that in. And there it is. So that's going to be the tier number 2. And now I'm going to make my loop on the top of that, remembering to make it big enough that it's going to be able to house 6 crystals that are going to dangle off. So you want to go down your pliers so that the loop is fairly good size. So I'm going to go right about there and complete it. And then coil the wire around the neck. Once that's done, now I'm going to cut off my excess wire. And I have 2 levels done. So I'm going to now take the 3rd. Well, first I'll take the wire, and I did have a piece left over that seems big enough. So I will use this for my top tier. So I'm going to do the same thing I did on the second one. I'm going to wrap a loop, connect it to level 2. It's connected in. Grab your loop and wrap or coil that tail around the neck. Cut off your excess. And now I'm ready to put on my top tier, my top bead. There it is, the 3 tiers, without any of the foo-foo that we're going to add in a second. So now I'm going to wrap my loop on the top of this. Again, remember, make it big enough. So I'm going to slide this down my pliers so it's at a fatter part of the pliers, so my loop will be bigger. Start my loop and my 90-degree angle. There's my loop. Let's wrap it around. And we're good to go. Cut off the neck, cut off that excess tail. And we have our 3 tiers. Now we're ready to add all the little dangles that are going to make this such a fabulous earring. But let's attach it to the ear wire. We're using a ear wire with a little ball at the end. We really love this one. You just slide it, put your earring in there, make the opening a little bit bigger. There we go. Tighten it up. We now have the form, the skeleton of our earring. So we're going to put it in the stand. So you can work on it a little bit easier. Doesn't matter which end you work with. I'm going to work with the bottom. I think for me that's easier, whatever way you want to do it. But I have 6 4mm. For the onyx, I'm using Jet AB. So I have to roll my loops. There's 1. 2. 3. I'll join these 3 and then I'll come back and do the other 3, roll my loops. So on one side of the earring, I'm going to put 3, attaching one at a time. There's 1. than on one side, and I'm going to wrap it shut. Well, I would have, but I believe my ear wire just snapped. So we got to start that one again. Foiled on the coiling. Let's see. Cut it off. Okay. We'll start it again. Okay. So I have my crystal on the head pin, wrapping a loop. Okay, back to the beginning. So I'm going to add this to the ear wire, right in the loop. There's one, heard it click in. Now I'll wrap it. This one's going better. Wrap it in there and cut off my excess. There's one on it. Let's take the other one, put it right next to it on the same side. Let's snap it into that loop. Heard it click, it's in. And let's wrap and coil this little crystal on. So this is number 2. We have 2 on. Right next to that, we're going to add number 3. Starts to get a little crowded, but we can handle it. And if you need a pliers to help you, let's see, is this going to go in? Might have to turn this a little bit. To get it in. Didn't quite make it. We'll try again. Let's get it in the loop at the right place. This third one can be a little bit of a bugger to get in, but I think we got it this time. The loop is caught in there, so now we hold it and coil this tail around the neck, cut off your excess. I think you get the gist of it. Now I have all 3 of these on the same side. Now I'm going to wrap loops on the other 3 jet AB and add them to this side. Then I'm going to do the same process with my crystals on here, on the second one. I have to wrap my loop, put it in on the one side. When all 3 are on, then I put them on the other side. And then I'll finish with the other 3 and 3. That's it. Simple earring, great, great look. So I'll wrap my loops here for you. 1. And you can scale this up, scale it down, switch it around, have fun with the colors. This earring just is a great little work. All right, so now I'm getting into the other side of my loop. Got these 3 are on. Now, oh, for better eyesight, huh? Okay, thought I had it. There we go. Got it. Pull it in and wrap the loop. Once you catch that in that loop, you just wrap it on. So this little baby's not going to go anywhere once you do your cold join there. Cut off your excess. Number 2, actually number 5, 2 for this side, is going to go right in there. Pull it through. And let's do a wrap. One more to squeeze in here. And this first layer, first floor, will be done. Starting to look pretty, huh? You can see how much movement this has, how much glitter it has. It's really a fun, fun, fun earring. All right, so those three are over here. We have room for one more on this side. Let's get it in. And I know it might be hard to see my hands doing all of this, but I'm doing the same thing every single time, and I'm talking you through it at the same time, so that this is very simple, basic wire working. All right, we have ground floor is done, and you can see when you move it how pretty that is. So I'll take you through the next layer, which is going to be my Crystal Galactic. And I'm going to put it in these 6 crystals. Where did I put? Here's my 6. I'm going to put right in the loop that is attached to here. Not the one that's above it, the one that's down here. I made that one nice and big so I can get in there. All right. So I'm going to wrap my loops onto my crystals. 1. 2, and these loops don't have to be particularly large. The only loop you have to remember to make large is the one that's holding the stones together. All right, so there's 3. So let's do this one together. We're going to stick it into the giant loop that I made, and we're going to wrap our tail or coil, whichever word suits you. Cut off the excess. Crystal number 2 going in on the same side. There it is, and you can hear it click in when it goes in. It's such a beautiful thing. And cut off your excess. And number 3 on the same side, so that it's much easier to keep count of these when you do all 3 of the 3 of a side together and then do the other side. There we go. And wrap it coiled around. All right, we're halfway through the second level. So now we have, I seem to have lost a head pin. Let me grab this one and put it on. And we'll be good to go. There's all 3. So I have 1, 2, 3. There's the 3. Now I just have to wrap a little loop and add it to the other side of my earring. This is looking pretty. I might have to plan an outfit around these. Black and white's always good, isn't it? I mean, you can just make it go with so many different things. Although we tend to like our turquoise here. But black and white is pretty nice. All right, I have my 3 loops. I'm going to join them on the other side of the top of my galactic, or my second layer. Pull it into the loop and coil it shut. It's coiled. Nice and secure. And cut this right at the base so it's tight there. Number 2 crystal, let's get it on the right side here, which would be right over here. let's coil that one shut. There we go. Cut off the excess. 5 on, 1 more. Get a feel how it's nice this is coming along? Pretty earring. All right, let's find the side that only has the 2, which would be this side. And put our last crystal for this layer on. Pull it into the loop. Felt it click in. Did I? Maybe I didn't feel it clicking. Nope, didn't click in. Now I felt it. Oh, I did feel it, but it came out. There it is. Back in, wrap it around, cut off my excess. Level number 2, all done. You see how pretty this looks? Okay, I'll do the last one. Why not? We've gotten this far together. We'll take it to the end so you can see. All right, there's one. Yep, I'll be able to see that. Good. I think I'll turn the earring this way. Sorry about that. It's going to be easier for me to see my loop, but I think you can still get the idea. There's 1. Two. 3. All right, so we'll go in. I've been starting on the right side, so I don't get confused. I'll keep doing the right side first. All right, wrap it around. Nice and secure. Cut off your tail. Crystal number 2. Pull it on. Once it's in the loop, hold the loop and coil. Done. And snip your tail. Number 3. Okay. Once it's in your loop, start coiling. We almost have this earring done. I'll turn it front way again. See how pretty that's starting to look? Really, when you add these little dangles, it changes the whole look of the earring. It gives it all those surfaces of glitter, which is what we're all about here. All right. And our last 3 crystals about to add. Again, I debated whether I needed to go through all of this with you or just go through one of them and then let you off on your own, but I decided to show you the whole thing. 1 earring, I won't do 2, won't bore you to death. But here we are. I'm going to turn it around again so I have it facing me and I don't have an ear wire in my way. I'm going to join it in here, pull it through, coil. So you see how this earring comes together mighty fast. This isn't taking us even 10 minutes and we have a half a pair of gorgeous earrings. So there's 1. Now let's get the second one on the side, or crystal number 5. I heard that one click in. Coil. And The last one. Here we are. Catch it in there. And coil it. And then, there we go. The ear wire does get in the way a little bit, but not that bad. And remember, I'm trying to demo this so you can see what I'm doing as well as I can. So it gets in the way. There you go. One earring completed. We call this a 3-tiered earring. You'll probably come up with a much better name than we did. Simple earring, wonderful design. I hope you had fun watching this. I hope you have fun doing it, and I hope you enjoy wearing these earrings. Thanks for watching. See you next time.